how do you think, how has the advanced technology, how has advanced machine learning contributed to understanding the universe in a better way than we did like years ago?
Yeah, in fact, it's made a lot of impact. I think in the rest, it turns out that machine learning has been in particle physics from about 30 years now, so it's not really new. But both the advances in machine learning have kind of went step in step with new technologies that we had on the developing better detectors. So to give you an example, when we discovered the Higgs boson in 2012, which was a very big discovery, and it led to a Nobel Prize for people who predicted its existence. It's a particle that also a mechanism that gives ways to get mass to other particles. So when we found it, we used machine learning actually to do that, and it helped get to that discovery quicker. So in a way, I look at machine learning as a tool which may be similar to something like a telescope or a microscope, depends which way you look at it, which allows us to see further, get to become more sensitive, and be able to do more with the data. So what that means is we can get to discoveries sooner with the same amount of data. So then there have been examples like this, and a number of recent discoveries also after the Higgs discovery, whether it's the gravitational waves in LIGO and other things that you've seen recently, or the first image of the black hole, which you probably have seen in the news just this year. They actually use machine learning at various stages were applied to get to that science. So it's really transformative. So it's not incremental, rather I would look at it as a transformative. Sort of like the effect that the telescope had on astronomy was huge, right? We can do only so much we can do with our eyes. And this is a similar thing, because it turns out these algorithms, the performance and sensitivity that we can get to physics is unprecedented thanks to machine learning. The other side of the coin is that actually machine learning may help us understand, physics may help us understand why machine learning works the way it works. So it started more as an empirical science. Now ideas from relativity and quantum field theory and other areas like statistical mechanics help put a foundation for deep learning as a science. So I think that's a very exciting area which is developing really quickly now. So
you're working on it, working on dark matters, understanding the dark matters, and we were talking about black holes. What is coming the next? What do you think?
Oh, it's hard to predict next discoveries, but I can tell you what I'm looking for. So I'm personally interested in see if we can discover dark matter at the Large Hadron Collider. The reason it's really interesting is we know what dark matter exists. We know it's there. We don't really know what it is. We have only theories and ideas and at best guesses. So it would be really interesting if it happens to be a particle that we could find it. So it's quite elusive, and all the searches so far have come up empty. But I think we're only now starting to get to the point where we're going to have a lot of more data and new algorithms that may help us actually hopefully find it. That's something I'm very excited about. It's hard to predict when it happens or if it happens, but that's one area that I'm particularly interested. The other is we don't, now I was talking about how we use, our big colliders, for example, detectors. There's also a lot of work happening also in neutrinos, trying to understand those very particles that we know exist, but they behave really strangely. So they can turn into one another, oscillate, all kinds of things happen there. It may help us understand also, the prevalence of regular matter over antimatter in the universe is another open question. Now, of course, there are many questions that are there but I think there is, hopefully in the next decades we'll be able to hopefully at least open the window to some of those questions. In particular, related to dark matter, something I've been working on recently also with some collaborators and others, it's becoming a thing. There's a few recent works that just came out almost simultaneously on this topic, is analyzing or using machine learning, different types of machine learning, to analyze something called strong lensing images, which is, you can have matter, could be dark or not. We have a lot of matter in one place, concentrated. You will bend light, right? So gravity will bend light, and you can have a lens, a gravitational lens, which people have seen already. But it's possible that if you can use these lenses to look for particular substructures within the galaxy that could be attributed to dark matter. So if dark matter happens to be like a superfluid, which is some people think it might be something like that, then you may be able to identify it, in fact, in those images. And you can use different types of machine learning to hone in for those types of signals in the strong lensing images. So we're trying to use all types of data and all types of ideas to try to understand that.
Can we say that maybe in the near future it will stop being a mystery?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I think that there is, every few years brings about some more information, and the interesting thing is that we are building more sensitive detectors. So, in particular, in high energy physics, we are building also the upgrade to the called high luminosity Large Hadron Collider, which is an upgrade to the existing Large Hadron Collider, which itself is right now at the frontier, at the highest energy ever studied by mankind in this controlled environment. So we're really pushing the boundaries. So if I was to use an analogy, if we look at kind of the exploration of the world, we're kind of just past the Canary Islands. Let's say if we were Christopher Columbus, we're just setting on the journey. We just made it to the open ocean, because I think the discovery of the Higgs boson, for example, was something that was predicted 50 years ago. It just took 50 years to build a machine powerful enough at that energy to be able to probe that scale. So now we're pushing beyond that. So we're really now in the open ocean. Now what is there and how far it is, it's not really known. But we hope there may be something there for us. Whether it's India or America, I think we'll be happy to find something and then try to understand and learn what it is.